Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
And I tell you this, my breakout moment in broadcasting was in Winnipeg doing the Wednesday Lottery with Don Whitman. And my favorite author, you can see there's a lot of books in behind me here. My favorite author is from Steinbach, Manitoba. Her name is Miriam Taves, and she moved up. Great story about Miriam. Her father, Mel, ran a school in Steinbach, but on weekends for pin money, he would sell his eggs up in Winnipeg. He would drop off containers of eggs. So at one point, he was getting ready to marry a woman named Elvira, who would be Miriam Taves, the author's mom. And he wanted to build a house just like one he'd seen in Winnipeg dropping off eggs. So Elvira says, well, what's it like inside? He says, oh, I have no idea. I just drop the eggs on the veranda and I move on. She said, well, you got to look inside to see if it's a house worth building. He says, I can't ask to go inside. I'm an egg deliverer. She said, leave it to me. So they go up to Winnipeg from Steinbach. She knocks on the door and says, do you mind if we have a look around? My husband here, Mel, wants to build a home just like this in Steinbach, and it will be our new wedding gift. And the guy says, come on in. It was Bill Mosienko. Bill Mosienko holds the record for the fastest hat trick in NHL history. He scored 3 goals in 21 seconds. And that just proves he's a good egg. Oh, sorry, there's a pun.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hilarious. Is this an Archie's comic? Who's hotter, Betty or Veronica?
Oh, man, Betty.
We can't sit here and talk about the hottest cartoon characters. I would. It's disturbing. John, by the way, has looked it up. Drawing sexual arousal to cartoon characters.
How about that?
I think Rod would do a great interview with an expert on people attracted to cartoon characters. Not happening. It's a sports show.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It is Hello, Canada and Canadian sports fans in the United States. Let's just say sports fans overall. We're live on Game Plus Television and WQEE Radio. There we go, Darren. Okay, we got a live studio audience here at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino in Calgary. And listen, I have a feeling that this is the kind of show that could get away from me today. I think there's a very good chance of that. The winner is you, the viewer and the listener. And we're at the Stage Bar, your number one destination for live sports here in Calgary. And the Moose is with us. He is on the sponsor's couch, if you will. One of these days, as a matter of fact, maybe tomorrow, we'll get that extra camera going and show everybody that we have a nice little Jimmy Kimmel sort of set thing going on here. Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. You coined the phrase, sleep like you're dead, like a dead person. That's kind of how I slept last night here in Grey Eagle. Feel like $1 million. So good day today.
Yes, well, you look like 100. And I'll tell you, nice soft beds. Brought my own pillow.
Same.
I've become that guy. But we love it here at Grey Eagle, and we're ready to talk sports. And I'll tell you what, start spreading the news. Vegas is in town. There's a vibe in town. The Vegas Golden Knights are in town to take on the Calgary Flames tonight. I'm going as a guest of the Flames staff. My phone was going crazy this morning saying, are you coming down to the morning skate? Krem's here. And I'm like, no, I got a show I got to do. I got to talk to the entire city of Winnipeg. So, yeah, we got business to take care of.
Yes.
Speaking of Winnipeg, John Liu will be joining us from TSN Winnipeg. And Sheldon Napastuk's going to join us. Former, Iowa State D-Lineman, Rough Rider, Stampeder, D-Lineman, my good and longtime friend, Sheldon Napastuk, the second best football player to ever come out of North Battleford, is going to be with us. That's in hour 2. So that's the guess. Let's go. Can you hit the quick 6 show horn, please, Director Jordan? Please and thank you. Yes, sir. Start spreading the news. Tell everybody that we're live on YouTube, Game Plus and WQEE, your home for Southern sports and talk. Number 1, let me call it up here. We're opening with the National Hockey League. So just hold on. Yanni Hakanpää and Yoel Kiviranta scored during a frenzied 2-minute span in the second period. And the Dallas Stars skated off with a 4-1 NHL victory on Monday over the Winnipeg Jets, who were minus their head coach Rick Bowness for a second consecutive game as he tested positive with COVID. He's not going to be back until from what we understand, at least Thursday. We're still doing this, apparently. I'm just going to go through some of the highlighted games from what was a 9-game slate, and then you can chime in with whatever you'd like.
Sure.
In Toronto, Shane Gostisbehere scored the winner on a power play late in the third period and added an assist as the Arizona Coyotes upset the Toronto Maple Leafs 4-2. Interesting comment by Sheldon Keefe after the game. If I heard it right, did you see his news conference?
I did.
He goes, the difference between us and Arizona is we have elite players. Isn't that what he said?
What he said.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And, I mean, he's right. Are you allowed to say that? Can you say it? And he's like, our elite players didn't play elite. We lost tonight. And I'm sitting there going, okay, now in football, the coach would say, I need to coach better. We need to have him prepared better. He's pointing the finger at Marner and Matthews.
I've never been a fan, man.
Yeah, of Sheldon Keefe?
Yeah.
Okay. This rarely ends well. The Vancouver Canucks blew another 2-goal lead and lost their third straight game of the young NHL season, falling 6-4 to the Washington Capitals. The Canucks, who are on a 5-game roadie to start the season, took a 4-2 lead into the third, but the Caps erupted for 4 goals. Ovi led the Caps with 2 goals and 2 assists. Vancouver plays in Columbus tonight and against the Blue Jackets. The Montreal Canadiens rallied in the third period to force overtime and then snatched a 3-2 NHL overtime win from the Pittsburgh Penguins at the Bell Center Monday night. Hickory Dickory Dock, Kirby Dock scored the winner in overtime. Les Lazaruk missed out on using that as a Saskatoon
Never
play.
used it, ever.
No. The Montreal Canadiens radio guy, you can have it, no charge. Hickory Dickory Dock, Kirby Dock. So, an interesting night in the National Hockey League. What were your takeaways?
That was a great night in the National Hockey League. You know, people were tweeting us about the hand pass in that Leaf game. I watched it. You know, yeah, it was ticky-tack, and, you know, you probably wouldn't call it. I don't think it should have been called, but that didn't matter. It didn't matter. That was only to tie the game against Arizona, and Sheldon Keefe has those questions. You know, tough one for the Jets, too, last night. So, overall, decent night, but tonight's a bigger night. A lot of games on the slate.
3, 6, 8 games tonight in the NHL. We'll push that into hour 2. We had a lot of time here in hour 1. Guy on Twitter is writing us, Tove. He says, what are your thoughts on the NHL's hashtag trash digital boards? If you're paying attention to what's going on the hockey boards, on the digital boards for an NHL game, you're focused on the wrong thing. Then you're not a hockey fan. Slightly distracting, but we can get over it. The CFL's been doing it for at least a couple of years now. And you know what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. The digital ads on the field, on the boards. Who really cares? I think this is a Canadian thing where they got to find something to bitch about. Honestly, I don't care. You?
No, overly I don't. I mean, it does suck because they don't have it worked out yet completely. So you get things moving and, you know, we see it on the football field where the logos are moving and it looks amateur league. I think, you know, it's weird that the NHL's rolling it out like this because in the NFL, if they go to logos on the field, which they may or may not have, we wouldn't know because it would be perfect. They would not test it on live TV. And it feels like we're testing this right now. So it will get better. It will be fine.
The guy wants to know what we think about the NHL digital boards, and my answer is I don't care. And what you're saying is it's not perfect yet.
Yeah.
It's like of all the things we need to worry about in society today, the NHL's digital boards aren't one of them. And I hope that your life is so perfect that that's the biggest problem in your life. You're a pretty lucky guy. Point 2, here we go. Woke up today to breaking news out of Winnipeg. Zach Collaros is staying put. The veteran quarterback signed a 3-year contract extension with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers Tuesday morning. Collaros, 34, joined Winnipeg in a 2019 late-season trade with Toronto and has amassed a 31-4 record as the starter while guiding the Bombers to consecutive Grey Cup victories. I know you're all tuned. I know what you're here for. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers, in announcing the extension, played a clip of me and this show from November of 2019. 3 years ago, Darren, they've been sitting on this clip of me saying that it was a nothing trade. So, some thoughts on this. Number 1, if you think that I'm hurt or offended by the Bombers trolling me with this, you don't know me at all. And the Bombers do know me. Number 2, when Zach was on my team in Saskatchewan and when we needed Zach, He wasn't around. And Zach knows that. Number 3, the statement that I made that the Bombers put out today was, as sports leaders are fond of saying, it was with the correction we had, the information we had at the time. Right?
Yeah.
And number 4, when they stop talking about me, that's when we'll have a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So,
yeah.
Bravo, Winnipeg, you trolled me. Darren this morning's like, there's no way they held on to that for the last 3 years. Yeah, they did. I'm a little surprised that it came out in this fashion, but bravo, Winnipeg. Bravo, Zach. I'm reading this morning. It's a raise from his current highest salary in the Canadian Football League. Winnipeg's getting 30 years off their chest of trolling people and getting sand kicked in their face.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, as long as you're on top, keep doing it. Because God knows they got hoofed in the gut. By me a lot. Over 30 years. This is the ebbs and flows. And if I may, now I'm starting to rant. There's supposed to be an entertainment factor to this business that we're in. A little chutzpah, a little pizzazz. Isn't there?
Yeah. This is that.
This is what we want. This is what we live for. It's what we get out of bed for. So you're welcome, Winnipeg. No charge for the entertainment. Do you have anything?
Well, I just, wish they had more. Like more clips. Like usually you see this come out of bigger leagues, right? And they'd have Dan Patrick talking about him and Stephen A. Smith and Colin Cowherd. And they'd have all the people lined up with all the comments of he's not a quarterback. He's not a pro. Dan Patrick does a thing where he gives pro quarterbacks their scouting report later on when they're really great at the Super Bowl and has them read them on the air. He'll never be this. His arm is too strong, not strong enough, blah, 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 blah. The problem is you're the only one that has a clip on that.
We're the only ones talking about the CFL. So again, you're welcome. Does this mean that you're coming to my Grey Cup party? Sponsored by Twisted Tea and Ballers on the Friday night of Grey Cup week. See you there, Winnipeg. Rod's rant, if I ranted, what I feel like I did, is for Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Find everything you need to know about our services, financing, product information, and more at broncoplumbing.com. The joke is on, I don't know whom, but this, hi. They're taking photos. It's good. I saw an interview with an ESPN sideline reporter who said she got moved from writing for the website to hosting in between periods at halftime. And she's like, people were taking pictures of me live while I was on the air. It was so unnerving. And I'm like, oh, boy, if that's the biggest thing you're worried about, you got a lot more to come. Anyways, we got moves for 2 segments, 40 minutes here in hour 1, so we got a lot to settle in here today. What did I say? There's a potential. I haven't even looked in the comments yet.
No. Once we get in there.
I still got to open a package from Manscaped that showed up here at Grey Eagle.
How about
by the way.
that?
So there's that too. Yeah. Yeah. Let's move. Are you ready to move on to the NHL?
Sure.
Did I tell you Vegas is here tonight?
You did. I thought we might get Krim down here on the set.
Right. Vegas is still my favorite team for now. Which reminds me, we're going to do the top 5, bottom 5, our first official edition of the NHL season. As we're 1 week into the NHL regular season, we're going to do it every week until the playoffs. My top 5 and my bottom 5, and you can rally with yours, although you kind of do the NFL top 5 power rankings thing. So, number 1 team in the National Hockey League. Are you ready, Clark? Beauty, Clark. The number 1 team is the Calgary Flames. I unofficially said it last week. I'm officially saying it now. The number 1 team in the National Hockey League are the Calgary Flames, the guys that reside in this town. Changed my mind. Number 2, I just got to go by virtue of the record, the Carolina Hurricanes. That's your team. That's the team that you love. Bunch of jerks. Carolina Hurricanes are the number 2 team in the NHL. The number 3 team, the Vegas Golden Knights tonight. So this battle in the Saddledome tonight is for NHL supremacy. For one night, anyways. Number 3 team, the Vegas Golden Knights. Number 4, the Dallas Stars. For 26 seasons, my favorite team in the NHL, the Stars. They're 4th ranked by the RP show. And number 5, the Boston Bruins. They are the mirage. They're the facade, in my opinion. This is a team that I have picked to miss the playoff in the Atlantic Division. And I'm not backing away from that. But right now, they're 3-0. They're the 5th best team in the NHL in the opening week. Our bottom 5, which is far more salacious. It's far more salacious. Oh, yeah. This goes in descending order. So the 28th team in the NHL is the New Jersey Devils. They're 0-2, and I don't see them turning things around. Then the Chicago Blackhawks, 1-2, and they got a long ways to go to respectability. Like a long ways. When they start trading Kane and Taves. Trade deadline?
Yeah, it's got to be sooner than that.
Third worst team, the Vancouver Canucks, and they're not even arguing that in Vancouver. The 31st ranked team in the NHL right now is the 0-3 Columbus Blue Jackets, and who saw this coming? That's a mirage. They're going to be better. Yeah. But right now, 0-3 is 0-3. Parcells said it. Your record is what you are. And the worst team in the NHL is the 0-3 San Jose Sharks. Sharks float, you know. They're already. You think they're going to get better all year out of the 32nd spot?
I don't know. You know, I'm still so romantic about the Sharks because I think about them and the players on that team, and I think about the good teams they had.
Oh, you got to get over it, buddy. You got to get over it.
You have to, you know, because they've got enough good players, but this team top to bottom is just not good enough.
No. That's the top 5, bottom 5. Write in yours in the comments, and you can text us 902-518-3033. The text line is always open. Support for the Rod Pedersen Show is brought to you by Manscaped. They're the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package, the ultimate men's hygiene bundle, is available now. I got it right here. Join over 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you right now. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code RPSHOW20. RPSHOW20. Use that promo code. You'll get free shipping and 20% off at manscaped.com. If my math is correct, that's 12 million balls they've trimmed.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we got time here, and I know that we are on the radio, WQEE Atlanta. We got people listening live, but we got shirts here. I'm still using the last Manscaped they sent me.
Yeah.
The stuff lasts. Sorry.
T-shirts, awesome.
Says, Manscaped, your balls will thank you. You literally feel like you just walked out of a spa.
Yeah.
I'm not joking, man. And it's not just the razor. It's the lotions that go with it.
Yeah.
The creams. They sent this to me, and I don't really need it, but you know what I think I might do is I'll give my old one to Lee Genier, our COO, and he can use that one.
Nothing like a gently used ball trimmer.
You can have it, Lee. You're welcome. No charge.
We'll rinse it off under the sink.
Oh, this is what I'm talking about.
So look. Oh, wow.
It's got a headlight. A headlight.
How about that?
Across the top of the microphone.
It's got a light on it.
Beautiful.
You can trim your nards in the dark.
Yeah.
The lotions, the sprays. I'm telling you, don't you deserve it? Don't you deserve it?
I didn't get lotion.
You know you do. It's like a gambling set.
And you got one more box in there, too, I think.
Yeah, there's more. There's more.
Hot.
It's the Weed Whacker. It literally says Weed Whacker.
Oh,
so this could all be yours right now. Manscaped.com, promo code RPSHOW20. You get 20% off, too, by the way, and free shipping. I don't even know what this thing is.
I think it's for your ears and your nose.
How about that?
How did they know I needed it?
Oh, you're keeping that one.
Dear.
Yeah, you're not getting any of this stuff.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. The Weed Whacker comes all part of it. We'll be back.
Damn.
It's the warm-up. John Lou and Sheldon Napastuk on the way. We're live from Grey Eagle on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and your home of Southern Sports and Talk, WQEE 99.1 FM.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. Right on.
dark horse bets today.
I gotta hit the beat.
Golf, Hawaii, and the Four Seasons. Imagine picking up your clubs and feeling like a pro for one whole week in paradise. Well, you can get that chance this December with 5-star accommodations, a 3-day tournament at a championship course, and loads of VIP experiences. The Pro Leisure Golf Tour is going to make you feel like a pro, even if your golf game doesn't. So whether you're looking to grab your golfing buddies for a tropical getaway or just wanting to find an exclusive VIP experience to take part in, the PLGT is perfect for you.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital Ford Lincoln. We have a great selection of brand new F-150s in stock. Drive it off the lot today. Reserve an incoming unit or pre-order the perfect vehicle for you. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital Ford Lincoln, making back to busy easy.
Easy snacking all around. Something everyone can love.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
Beautiful day in the foothills. Summer-like conditions. We're live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, and we're only halfway through the quick six show topics here, but we stop for a second and bring in some viewer comments. The breaking news today is that the Winnipeg Blue Bombers of the CFL, Canadian Football League, have re-signed their star quarterback from Steubenville, Ohio. We're very big in Ohio. Number one cable carrier in the entire state is Buckeye Cable, as you know, Moose. It's the home state. And Zach was a star at the University of Cincinnati. Glenn Erickson in Medicine Hat is watching. He says, the Bombers trolling Rod Pedersen. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that. They trolled me when they made the announcement. Glenn says, it's just free publicity for the CFL. That's a triumph. I wish the Western Hockey League garners this kind of following. Wayne in Victoria, BC says, he's a Rider fan. He says, the Bombers had more luck than skill trading for Caleros. They were in dire need of an experienced quarterback, and most experts thought Zach was done, and he should retire before he's injured permanently. Sour grapes, maybe?
Maybe. It could be. And that was the narrative on Zach, though, was, and it came from all levels, all players, former players, Hall of Famers, teammates, ex-teammates, that said maybe he should hang it up. The conversations we're having about Tua in Miami and his future, we were having those about Zach 10 times. So, this has been quite a turnaround, and he's done a tremendous job to get to this point.
Incidentally, Tua starts Sunday for the Miami Dolphins, and that's coming up in the Quick Six show. So we will move on, other than to say, Ryan O'Radio down in Atlanta regarding our Manscaped package. He says, how about that?
How about that?
We are live on WQEE, our southern home of sports and talk. Where was I? Oh, on the top five, bottom five, John Massey in Edmonton, my frenemy.
Yeah.
His term, not mine. He said, can you please put the Leafs in your bottom 5 just to troll that fan base. I'm thinking I don't have to put them there as a stunt. They're going to belong there before long.
Oh,
the way it's going.
Yeah, early indications, right? This team's not playing like a team anywhere near the top 5, that's for sure.
By the way, we move fast in the quick 6 show topics, and then we settle in after that. John Liu coming up from TSN Winnipeg. Former CFL D tackle Sheldon Napastuk, good friend of mine on hour 2, and more of your comments and such in hour 2. But we're going to roll with the other things that are going on in sports. Point 4, the decisive Game 5 of the American League Division Series between the Yankees and Cleveland Guardians has been postponed by rain, or it was on Monday, rescheduled for today, 2:07 Eastern. Winner moves on to the ALCS against Houston. The NLCS opens tonight. And by the way, who had San Diego, Philadelphia in the NLCS? Nobody.
No.
Nobody.
But you did have them beating the Mets.
Yes, I did.
When I took the Mets, you took them in the opening round.
And that's without Fernando Tatis.
Right.
By the way, it's a good thing we didn't plan our day around watching that Game 5 yesterday because it was rained up. But we did go to the movies. Landmark Cinemas, Halloween 3. It was disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
2 thumbs up here.
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't as gory or quite as jumpy as the last one. Wasn't as intense, maybe, but it was still pretty intense. The worst part was probably 5 minutes in. I won't ruin it, but probably in the early 5 minutes of the movie, it was good. It was good.
No, I get what you're saying. Let's not be spoilers.
Yeah,
but I mean, the first 5 minutes, I'm like, what?
You jumped. You almost jumped into my lap.
Yeah. If you like this scary movie, Halloween Ends is for you, playing now at Landmark Cinemas. I forgot to mention the poll right now. The poll for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center, Capital with dealerships all across the Canadian prairies and the state of California. Which 3-0 NHL team is the best right now? There are 4 3-0 teams in the National Hockey League. Boston, Carolina, Dallas, and Vegas. And running away with it is those bunch of jerks. The Carolina Hurricanes with 68% of the vote. 48% the Boston Bruins, 11% the Vegas Golden Knights, and 7% say Alley's Dallas Stars. So we'll find out. Big one under the dome tonight. Flames and Golden Knights will be there. I can't wait. Thank you, Tammy. I'm going as a guest of the Flames staff, and life is good. Point 5, a lot of NFL points mushed into one here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Dustin Hopkins kicked 4 field goals, including a 39-yarder with 2:38 remaining in overtime, and the Los Angeles Chargers rallied for a 1916 home victory over the Denver Broncos. Russell Wilson was 15 of 28 for 188 yards and a touchdown for the Broncos, who dropped a game in overtime for the second straight week. Everybody's trolling Russell Wilson. Obviously, we were at the movies, so I didn't watch the game really at all. I think it was over. It was over by the time the movie was over. Russell's stats weren't bad. He didn't turn the ball over. He didn't muff a return in overtime and give up possession. Why is everybody all over Russell Wilson?
Because he's taken a big step back in Denver from what we're used to seeing. He signed a big contract, so the expectations are really high. And we all whiffed on the Denver Broncos. We had Denver as a Super Bowl contender in a tough division. We had them as a team that would really challenge, and they have been none of those things, from their coach to time management to Russ. He's not done. Russ isn't done. I don't think he's washed up, but this team is in some trouble.
By the way, it was a fun discussion yesterday over what overreaction coming out of the weekend is the most of an overreaction, and everybody agreed it was the people saying that Tom Brady's done, which that guy wrote in yesterday, and he's like, I tuned in for NHL coverage, and you're talking NFL. You want to let me know when you're going to talk NHL? Usually right off the start. But let me just pause this because people love our stories. We're at Walmart yesterday. Let's recap this. You'll like this more than the sports.
LFG.
We're standing in line waiting to pay for our stuff, buying some groceries, and Darren's looking at this supermarket tabloid, literally. And it goes, Tom Brady, football stud is a bedroom dud. And he's, what else did it say?
Oh, man. It said Tom saves his energy for the football field only. And it said Giselle was quoted saying, if Tom doesn't start giving me that good loving again, we're going to end it for good.
I'm going to sack him.
I'm going to sack him for good. That's what. If he doesn't give me the good loving, I'm going to sack him.
So we're
for
sitting
good.
there having this discussion in the lineup at the Walmart till, and the lady behind the till, this is the best. She's like, excuse me, who are you guys talking about? Tom Brady. And she's like, I don't know who that is. I said, oh, you're not not a football fan? She goes, well, I am, but I'm more of a Stampeders fan. I like that Bo Levi. And the black guy. And I said, you're going to have to be more specific. There's more than just one. How did it end? I don't remember. My mind just was racing after that.
You know, who?
I love the Stampeders.
I've never heard of Tom Brady, but I'm a football fan.
Exactly.
I like the Stampede.
Walmart
throws all of my assumptions about football fans in this country.
She was a real chatty Cathy, which I appreciate. Has some personality. She had some chutzpah. Tua Tagovailoa's back, and his return will be a welcome sight for a Dolphins team that has not won a game since he suffered a concussion on September 29th. Tua will go through practice this week as the Dolphins starter, as is expected to start Sunday night against the Pittsburgh Steelers. NFL owner meetings, concussions, roughing the passer penalties, and Washington owner Dan Snyder have dominated headlines 6 weeks into the NFL season. But there isn't expected to be any significant news on any of those hot topics when the NFL owners meet today in New York. Dan Snyder's ownership of the Commanders became a big issue last week when ESPN reported that he has hired private investigators and told people he has enough information to expose fellow owners and NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. The Commanders denied the contents of that report, saying it was categorically untrue. However, it's expected Snyder's name will come up among the owners today in New York. I really wished I was part of your chat on Friday, you and Lee Genya having some fun with this with Dan Snyder, because you said to me in the car out here, I don't know if you said it on the air, but that if you were an NFL owner, you would go ahead, Dan. You would call his bluff.
I would, but I don't think the other owners would. I don't have as much to lose. I mean, everybody's got lots to lose. But I'm not a $1 billion NFL owner that's going to have my franchise ripped away. I mean, make no mistake about it. If Dan Snyder's got dirt on these guys, it's dirt, like real dirt. And so if Jerry Jones is going to vote against Dan Snyder and he knows it, and he releases what he has on Jerry Jones, Jerry won't own the Dallas Cowboys anymore. He won't. It'll be done. So that's what is at stake for 24 owners to vote Dan Snyder up. You're going to lose your franchise if the dirt is real. So I'm hoping some of these guys will call his bluff, but I don't know if they will. And that's what Torrey said. Torrey doesn't think that they will. He's like, no, the owners, they look out for number one first, and they won't sacrifice their own franchise and their own reputation because they will be done.
That's how they got to where they are. That's why I would have enjoyed being part of that show, but you guys did have a great show talking about all of this stuff. And listen, we sit here as sports people, and we talk about people that we know are bad people in their roles. Dan Snyder's a good example, but there are more. And we sit there and go, how does he keep his job? And we're starting to find out. Yeah. And when you say looking out for number one, that reminds me, because we got to the end of our quick six show topics here, other than point six, which is odds and ends, and a lot of things. I think this is one of them. It was one of those odds and ends. But our rock star of the day on Monday was Ron McLean, and it's my commentary today on Cat Country and Rock 98, and you can also read it at rodpeterson.com. Why is Ron McLean being so vilified in this country by Canadians over the Don Cherry thing? I'll say here what I said on the commentary. Jay Onrait was expected to quit his job when Dan O'Toole got sacked. Rod Black gets unceremoniously dumped by TSN, but Leo Routens, I see him on TV every night. How come you didn't quit, Leo? You're supposed to have your guys back. Dwayne Ford, same thing. I'm not calling them out, by the way, but why is Ron being called out? Is social justice just picks and chooses? Is that what it is?
A little bit. And it's a case of, Don said something he shouldn't have. And we, kind of knew that in today's world, you can't say that. And we don't want to blame Don. So we want to blame somebody else, right? And it's Ron's fault for not sticking up for him or backing him up in the moment on the air. And we don't want to blame Don. But the fact is, you know what? We love Don. He was our childhood hero, did all these great things. we got to accept that he said something wrong and that he's no longer.
Well, as
on
they
national
say, I
team.
guess Ron's an easy target, and I think that's wrong, so I have Ron McLean's back. See you in hour 2.
You
A
bet.
quick sports update before we go. American Hockey League on Monday night from here in Calgary. Coachella Valley knocked off the Calgary Wranglers 3-1 in the Saddledome. MLS playoffs on Monday night. New York City beat Inter Miami down there in Fort Lauderdale 3-0. And Dallas and Minnesota tied 1-1, but Dallas won 5-4 on penalties. And the Western Hockey League announced that Seattle Thunderbirds forward Lucas Ciona has been named WHL Player of the Week. The Flames prospect led all WHL skaters with 11 points, helping his Seattle Thunderbirds start off the season 7-0. Meanwhile, Brandon Wheat Kings goalie Carson Bjarnason has been named WHL Goalie of the Week. The product of Carberry, Manitoba, had a 1.67 goals against average to go with a 3-0 record in the week. This sports update is a proud presentation of our friends at Edo Japan. From hand-rolled sushi to bento box meals, made with their famous teriyaki sauce, Edo Japan's menu has something for everyone. John Liu joins us next. It's the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, and on the radio, WQEE 99.1 FM.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital Ford Lincoln. We have a great selection of brand new F-150s in stock. Drive it off the lot today. Reserve an incoming unit or pre-order the perfect vehicle for you. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital Ford Lincoln, making back to busy easy.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of time. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Big time. I gotta hit the beat.
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
I gotta hit the beat.
Easy snacking all around. Something everyone can love.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports? You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact The Rod Pedersen Show today.
We're live at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. A game day. The Flames are home tonight to the Golden Knights. I feel will establish supremacy in the National Hockey League for 24 hours anyways. The Jets losing last night in Dallas 4-1. And breaking news out of Winnipeg, Zach Collaros has signed a 3-year extension with the Blue Bombers. Joining us from TSN Winnipeg is John Liu. And before we get to those topics, John, and thanks for the time, by the way, I had no idea you're a Winnipeg guy. If you don't mind, tell me about this thing heading back to your hometown, man. You seem very excited about it. Congrats.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't be. Thank you, first of all, Rod. Well, considering how long, I'm surprised you didn't know I'm not from Winnipeg. As you can see behind me, one of my beats. I built here. We're just waiting for Zach Collaros' press conference at 12 noon. But yeah, this has been an unbelievable for me, like the chance to go home. But first and foremost, with the taking over for Sarah on the Winnipeg beats, asks for the Winnipeg Jets, and we probably doing it football this season. But next year I'll be back on the CFL beat with Bombers. So the ultimate that I am backyard. Actually, the house that my wife bought is less than a kilometer from IG Field. So I'll never have to drive practice, which is.
Well, I'm very, very happy for you, man. So, yeah, congratulations, and glad to see that smile. I'm also happy for Zach Collaros and the Blue Bombers. 3 years, man. He's 34 years of age. What does this deal mean for the team and the player?
I think that it's just trying to maintain stability, continuity for Bombers that we saw that last offseason, that they managed to keep the band together. You know, like with the coming out of a repeat championship year, managing to find the cap space and the willingness from all their important players, guys that could have been free agents. They didn't bolt. They didn't go for greener pastures. They saw that the situation that they're in here in Winnipeg with a winning team, a championship team with a really strong culture under Mike O'Shea and starting with their leader, Zach Collaros, this was the best place for any one of them to be. And so I think that by locking up Collaros, presumably for the remainder of his CFL career, this is a very strong and clear sign that the Bombers really want to. If they're not considered a dynasty already, they want to really keep all the pieces in place to ensure that they give themselves the best shot at creating a dynasty and perhaps taking a shot at the Edmonton Eskimos' record of how many Grey Cups straight. That was, we didn't think that could have been attainable, matchable, but. Bombers are the top team in the league again this year, and by keeping Collaros in the fold, and then who else down the line as we progress through free agency in 2023 and beyond. This is a way for them to try to ensure that they keep everything together and moving in a successful direction.
I look forward to hearing what Zach has to say today. Two quick last questions for you, John. Number one, who are the real Winnipeg Jets? The one that beat the New York Rangers on opening night. What was it? 1-0? No, it was a 4-1 there, but lost 4-1 in Dallas last night. Who's the real Winnipeg Jets?
Oh, it was somewhere in between. Yeah, definitely somewhere in between, Rod, because the thing is, they're a work in progress. And the fact is that with wholesale changes to their system, the way that they defend, their defensive structure, and they got away from that last night. Way too small of a sample size at this point for us to have a really fair judgment or assessment of where they're at in terms of the club that Rick Bowness wants them to be. And of course, Rick Bowness hasn't actually coached them for a game yet. He's still under COVID protocol, and so he might be back for Wednesday night in Colorado. We'll see, but yeah, somewhere in between, Rod. Way too early to tell.
Sure. And lastly, your Montreal friends and fans want to know how you feel about the Habs. Big wins over the Leafs in Pittsburgh. What do you think about the early returns of the Blue Blanc Rouge?
they're going to be a roller coaster ride. But I think what's most important for the Montreal market is that that team is entertaining and that they're selling hope. They're selling development is the key. That's Marty St. Louis' mandate, Kent Hughes' mandate. And so, as long as the club looks like that they're going in the right direction, even if they're losing a lot of games, and that's not necessarily a bad thing for that team with the players that are available at the top of the draft of 2023. It's as long as people are entertained and having fun, I think that they're going to forgive the Canadians for what could be an awful lot of losses this season.
Yeah, well, so far, so good. John, thanks for the time. Good luck at the Newser, and keep in touch, my friend. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Now, TSN Winnipeg's John Lu. I'm telling you what, that one knocked me on my keister. When he left Montreal, I didn't know he's from Winnipeg. Morning, Lucien. One of the top security guys here at Grey Eagle, just checking over things. Yeah. Our listeners listen live and podcast don't see this, but there are people that were watching that hit with John Lu thinking that it was snow over his shoulder. And initially I did. He was right at IG Field in Winnipeg, and it looked like snow. Troy Comer watching in Toronto says, is that snow behind John? Brr. No, it's just sun. And it looked like his iPhone was having a tough time adjusting to that. For our American viewers, it ain't that cold. As a matter of fact, I switched my phone over here to Celsius from Fahrenheit, but let's switch her back. Yesterday it was hot. Hot. They always want to, down there, they want to know what the temperature is up here. So right now it's 56 degrees, a very Fahrenheit, a very normal, livable 56 degrees. But I will say this, I went from the most humid region of North America to the driest within 3 days. So I'm starting to flake off. I got to go get some lip chap and skin lotion. Pray for me. Maybe we'll take a time out and do a viewer takeover when we come back with your viewer comments. Yeah, we can do that now. And we'll bring the Moose back in. And Sheldon Napastuk's going to be with us an hour or two. And if you can, a note for producer Clark. We have changed our location from the last time Sheldon was with us. We were over in the concert facility here at Grey Eagle. We're now in the stage bar, and I'm sure if you wouldn't mind letting Sheldon know, maybe you already have. So there's a lot going on today. Zach Collaros, a 3-year extension, 8 games in the NHL tonight. We can turn our attention to those whenever you want, and people still seem to want to talk about Tom Brady, which I'm more than happy to do. It is the RP Show live on Game Plus TV. YouTube Live, your favorite podcast platform, and on the radio, on your home for Southern Sports and Talk, WQEE 99.1 FM.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
Golf, Hawaii, and the Four Seasons. Imagine picking up your clubs and feeling like a pro for one whole week in paradise. Well, you can get that chance this December with 5-star accommodations, a 3-day tournament at a championship course, and loads of VIP experiences. The Pro Leisure Golf Tour is going to make you feel like a pro, even if your golf game doesn't. So whether you're looking to grab your golfing buddies for a tropical getaway or just wanting to find an exclusive VIP experience to take part in, the PLGT is perfect for you.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital Ford Lincoln. We have a great selection of brand new F-150s in stock. Drive it off the lot today. Reserve an incoming unit or pre-order the perfect vehicle for you. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital Ford Lincoln, making back to busy easy.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital GMC. Reserve your brand new truck or SUV today. Check out our great selection of in-stock GM-certified pre-owned trucks. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big, and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital GMC, making back to busy easy.
Gorgeous day in the foothills and a game day, as we've been talking about. The Calgary Flames are home to the Vegas Golden Knights tonight, and they'll be taken to the ice in the Saddle Dome in moments for their morning skates. The Moose has rejoined us here. We're calling this viewer takeover, and I don't know how long the Moose is going to be with us. We have Sheldon Napastuk coming up in hour 2. Nasty Napastuk. What segment you got him in, Clark? Clark gone. He gone. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's a live show.
We'll put him on when he gets here.
We'll get him, put him on when he gets here. So the 902 text line is open. You can always write us here, right at the stage bar, 902-518-3033 from Chris Jarl. He's watching in Calgary. Sorry, in Surrey, BC. He says, is John Liu able to comment on why the CFL doesn't get more media coverage? We need more John Liu. Talk about an old, tired, worn-out conversation, the lack of coverage for the CFL. Let me say this. God helps those that help themselves. Yeah. That doesn't mean you have to be selfish, but the CFL does itself no favors whatsoever. So a lot of this bind that they're in is their own doing. And I don't want to spend any more time on that topic right now than this, because there are other leagues that are more exciting in doing things the right way. Lyle in Toronto writes in and says, Rod, what are your thoughts on the Senators? I think they're a sleeper hit this year. Thoughts on this are, I flirted with putting them in the bottom 5. What are they, 1-2? I didn't watch their game against the Leafs on Saturday night. Did you? Did you watch that game?
Yeah, I did.
What do you think with the Senators?
You know, the Sens are okay. They're a young, exciting team with tons of upside. But they're not a team that's going to be in the top 5 yet. They're not.
Oh, God, not even close. They're not going to be in the playoffs.
No.
But Ottawa's going the right way. Mm-hmm. From what I understand, the vibe around the team is very positive. They work hard for DJ, the head coach. But they're still very young. I will say that when they came through Florida last year, and I watched them twice, I think they were the hardest working team that came through Sunrise. I'm not joking. Other people may disagree. But they're a hardworking team. They're just not that good. And now Connor White is with the Panthers. He scored, was it last night? He's been very good. Mm-hmm. I don't know why he's not with Ottawa anymore. They're coming together, but they're not a playoff team. And of those, what did we say? There were 3 teams on the cusp.
Yeah.
Buffalo, Ottawa, and Detroit. Which one's going to take that step this year? Did you see Detroit last night? It was their first loss against the LA Kings. And they kind of blew it late. But the Wings are 2-0-1. The loss is an overtime loss. I think Detroit's the team that's going to take a major step ahead. But you people that have the means, watch the Buffalo Sabres. Is like Clark gone to the bathroom? Where's the bell?
Oh, I just heard it.
Oh, did
the bell went. Yeah.
Can you turn up my volume? Thank you. Yeah, mine's wide open here. Watch the Buffalo Sabres at Oilers tonight, and you tell me what you think of Buffalo. They're good, but they're very young too.
Yeah.
Detroit had 2 Calder candidates on their roster last year and 1 winner, Sider. Right?
Yeah.
So I'll see Buffalo live here on Thursday. And I know the question was about Ottawa, but they work hard. They're not there yet. They're extremely young. And Montreal's really young. There's literally no explanation as to how they've beaten Toronto and Pittsburgh so far. That just defies logic.
I know, but when you're young and you're carefree, you're willing to jump without the parachute, right? You can jump without the parachute. You don't need the net underneath you. You're not fear. There's no fear of failure there for the Montreal Canadiens. So these young kids can just go out and play hockey, and they're going to knock some teams on their butt and surprise some people. But in the long run, they won't be able to keep up that pace and make the playoffs.
See, and by the way, so Randy in the Peg writes in, he says, Minnesota, the Wild are 0-3, 20 goals against. They're bottom 5 as of now. Now, you got to put a little thought and not just go by the records. Minnesota's not going to be this bad. We're a week into the regular season. A week. This is why we came out of the weekend and I said, what are the overreactions? That Minnesota's the worst team? No, they're not. Montreal's not this good either. Ottawa's a middling team and will remain a middling team. How Jeff Cabillas watching in Winnipeg says, how about Vancouver? How about Vancouver? They are who we thought they were. I'm sorry, but the truth hurts, Vancouver. You need to hear it. You don't want to hear it, but you need to hear it. They're bad.
They have to win some games. They've been having multiple goal leads in 3 games and 3 losses. But I think it's a watershed moment that neither Montreal nor Seattle.
Last minute of play in hour 1.
Neither Montreal nor Seattle are in your bottom 5.
Nor Arizona, dude.
Yeah, the Coyotes either.
Ted in Red Deer trying to get the CFL discussion going, and this actually exemplifies, frankly, what's wrong with the CFL. It's too small of a league. He goes, who's the best quarterback in the CFL? He just signed a 3-year extension today, Zach Caleros. It's not even close. Back-to-back Grey Cups and the highest paid player. Come on, Ted. I love you, but do better. Come up with something better. Arlen Bruce III said, RP, that sweatshirt is lit, isn't it? I love me some Hot Atlanta, where we air every day on WQEE 99.1, your southern home of sports and talk. And they love us. Nasty Napastuk in hour 2. Moose will be back as well. Stick around, everybody, here on Game Plus and WQEE.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG. Always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Hilarious. Is this an Archie's comic? Who's hotter, Betty or Veronica?
Oh, man. Betty.
We can't sit here and talk about the hottest cartoon characters. It's disturbing. John, by the way, has looked it up, drawing sexual arousal to cartoon characters.
How about that?
I think Rod would do a great interview with an expert on people attracted to cartoon characters. Not happening. It's a sports show.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Oh, boy. Is it a sports show? Welcome, everybody, to the RP Show. It's hour 2, coming in hot, live here at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. 3-week residency is well underway, and we're broadcasting from the Stage Bar, which is your #1 source for game day live sports. And that includes tonight, Calgary Flames home to the Vegas Golden Knights, a battle for, as far as I'm concerned, NHL supremacy. These are 2 unbeaten teams. I cannot wait. We do have breaking news out of the Canadian Football League on Tuesday morning. Zach Collaros, the guy who's quarterbacked the Winnipeg Blue Bombers to back-to-back Grey Cup championships, has signed a 3-year extension. The Bombers did troll me with the announcement. I said 3 years ago when they acquired him, it was a nothing trade. Yeah, I'm eating my words, okay? Let's bring in Sheldon Napastuk now, the longtime CFLer, 99-06 with the Rough Riders and Stampeders, Iowa State veteran to talk some ball. How you doing, Shell?
Rod, I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Happy New Year. I feel like it's been forever since I saw you.
Well, it has been. Last time I saw you was, on this show, but in a stage in the back room of the casino. You're moving up in the world. I don't know if your viewers can see this, but from here we're seeing like the whole floor of the
casino.
A little bit of activity going on here. It's
live audience.
Live audience. It's I'm
it's a dream.
It. Yeah,
Thank you, buddy. Well, we have come a long way, and I appreciate Sheldon's. He and I go way back to 99, as a matter of fact. He is from North Battleford, Saskatchewan, so we're going to talk ball here and so forth. But, yeah, it's been good. Because the last time we were on this show, you're right, we were tucked in the back of the event center, and you stayed after the show, and you're like, hey, so what's the deal? How did this all come about? And I told you.
Yep.
And it's been the best thing that ever happened to me.
So where were you coming from before? Because you just got into Calgary.
I was in Florida for the last 2 months.
Yeah.
He said, can we talk about this on the air? And I said, we talk about whatever the hang we want. Which, incidentally, what's new since I saw you is we're being carried live on WQEE radio in Atlanta, Metro Atlanta, 99.1 FM. So we're live right now in Atlanta. So watch what you say. How about the Falcons?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Love them.
Yeah. So we're in Florida for the last 2 months doing the show there. got great relationships with the Panthers and the Dolphins, been following the Tua situation very closely. And I spent all summer here in Alberta. We're at the World Juniors for 2 weeks in Edmonton, at the River Cree Casino there.
Oh, there you go.
How about you? You got news too. You're growing.
Well, yeah, growing. I guess last time I sat down with you about a year ago, we'd just start up the drone business and shooting real estate photography and houses for realtors. And it's been that's really picked up. Actually, it was pretty exciting. We just opened up our first studio in Northeast Calgary. In a part of a Royal LePage real estate office, and just opened the doors on that on Friday, and it's pretty exciting.
I can tell by the smile on your face that you're excited.
Well, the fun thing too is, I know you guys you can't see. Well, some of you can see me out there. I'm 6'5". I'm still 290 pounds, and it's kind of funny to get the look on the people's faces when they walk into a photo studio. And
here's the guy.
Here's the guy with the camera, just towering over them. But it's been great. It's been fun.
Okay, you come on out here. We have, hang on a sec. We have the Grey Eagle staff. You make yourself right at home. It's your home. So you take photos, you do whatever you want to do. See how nice they treat us here?
There you go.
I'm getting in a lot of trouble here, though, Shell, because we've been here. This is the 18th week total.
Yeah.
And I got staff coming up. Hey, Rod, welcome back. Rod, where you been? Rod, I don't know their name.
Yeah.
In every case.
Yeah.
So I got to get on my stuff here.
Yeah. Just keep a little list there beside you. Some little headshots.
You deal? You're the dealer? One of? Yeah, so that's exciting. And look, people love the stories as much as they love the sports talk here. So I'm going to say a couple things before we delve into whatever you viewers would like to talk about. And I'd like to talk about Zach's extension in Winnipeg and what you see happening here in the CFL. Obviously, NFL topics and all the rest. But everybody has a story. Sheldon's just happens to be a little more colorful than most. And the last time he was on, he told the story, and I'll just, for the benefit of our new viewers and listeners. Now, I always have to reintroduce our guests, Sheldon, because we got new people tuning in all the time. Sheldon went to Iowa State, and then he opened. You're a businessman by trade. What was your degree at Iowa State? Communication.
Psychology.
Sure. Have you ever used your psychology degree?
Not at once. That's the thing, too. It was a little misleading on the brochure. There's counseling psychology. What I thought I was going to get into is like the really interesting human nature stuff. And what I ended up getting into is the Bachelor of Science program, which is a lot more just brain interactions and chemicals and drugs.
You realize it is all kind of connected, though?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
In life, it is. But he opened up a hot dog vendor in Saskatoon. So in 1999, at training camp, you're outside a bar at 2 in the morning selling hot dogs to Rough Riders players because we had training camp there. And you said to your mom, it was to your mom, wasn't it?
It was to my mom.
Take it from there.
Well, I mean, it's kind of disheartening because I just spent the last couple of training camps trying to get on with the CFL team. Just couldn't quite crack it. And I'm sitting there serving these guys at night. And guys, you're in training camp after 2 days. They're just having a great old time reconnecting. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And it was like heartbreaking. And the next morning I wake up and I'm calling my mom. I said, Mom, 2 years ago I'm playing in front of 90,000 people, and now I'm serving these guys hot dogs. Like, where did I go wrong? She's like, well, just call them, let them know you're in town and you want to play. I'm like, Mom, this isn't pickup football. You don't just like walk up there and say you want to play. Like, that's not how pro sports work. She's like, well, if I don't know anything about pro sports, don't ask me.
And don't bring it up again.
Don't bring it up again.
Yeah.
Don't complain to me. I thought about it. I was like, I got one shot. One
opportunity.
So that's it. And I picked up the phone and I called the head coach, Cal Murphy, at the time. And you know what he said? Nothing. He wouldn't even return my phone call. Now I start getting mad. Like, you got to at least give a guy a
disrespect,
call back, right? Yeah. Put me in touch with somebody, right? But a couple weeks passed by. They're back in Regina. Regular season starts, and I heard some rumblings that Scrivener, their starting defensive tackle, was a little banged up, wonky knee. I'm like, you know what? They're not calling me back. I'm just going to drive down there. So one day I shut down the car, make the 2.5-hour trip to Regina, watched practice, waited outside for 3-4 hours for the coaches to come out, and they did. And handed them the game films, and they're like, "Oh, sorry didn't call you back, but no, we're good right now. But yeah, we'll take a look at the film, and great. Have a nice trip back to Saskatoon." And so I jump in the car, a little deflated, get back to Saskatoon. Within 5 minutes of walking in the door, the phone rings, and it's Coach Cal Murphy saying, "Hey, can we get you back here tomorrow? We just want to get you on film, moving around a little bit, see what you got." And I'm like, "Yeah, for sure." next day, shut down the cars to drive to Regina, borrowed some shoes, some turf shoes, and the rest is history. Yeah, next year I'm starting. So.
8-year career, Saskatchewan and Calgary. And let me just say this. So now he's running, you're in real estate, in this drone business, as you said, in digital media, I guess. A guy called me by the name of Dwight McMillan the last time Sheldon was on the air. The hockey people will know that name. He's the Scotty Bowman of junior hockey. He said, Rod, I was watching your show, and I need some drone work done with the oil company I work with. What's that guy's name? So I passed along your number, and so you'll do, I guess you'll do drone work for...
I head down to Saskatoon a few times a year for different shoots, and yeah, absolutely.
Good. So to football now. You said, well, you're busy, so you're probably not watching every game. But can I ask you this? Football hasn't, like my business has changed to the degree it's almost unrecognizable.
Yeah.
From when the era that you and I met. Has football?
It's changed. It's changed a lot, but it's still recognizable. I think the level of expectation on the players has gotten higher. It's a really good product that's on the field up here right now. And I think we've seen some more established coaches and better coaching coming into the league. We still have horrible referees, which mess up every game. But when you take a look at some of the top franchises, you're talking about teams like Winnipeg, like Mike O'Shea, head coach. I remember playing against Mike O'Shea. I never thought he would be a good head coach. But he came in there, he left his helmet on the field, got into coaching role, took a lot of criticism. But he built a team around him. He built a culture around him. And they've just been executing at a high level ever since. And I mean, and signing Zach Collaros was no accident. They knew what they were looking for, and they got it. And, so I really appreciate now, honestly, just looking at how different organizations work. Calgary Stampede, they're just perennially on top, even when they have their struggles and rebuilding years. But it's a well-managed club that always has a plan and an answer to everything.
There is a flood of questions coming in for you.
Oh, boy.
They're all good. Nothing you can't handle, trust me. But can you see the light in the guy's eyes? He's got pizzazz, this guy right here. So I'll begin with this. There are many, I'm not joking. How long do I have you for?
As long as you want.
Okay. 2 segments anyways. Ted and Red Deer, with regards to Zach Collaros signing, and then Tua, you asked where I was in South Florida. And I got to the point where with the Tua Tagovailoa controversy with his concussion, I had to turn the radio off. I mean, this is too much. It's all they talk about, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure I was the same. Football.
Yeah.
So Ted in Red Deer wants to know if there was a concussion protocol when you played. God. He says, my guess is no. So Zach Collaros, we all thought he should retire. Winnipeg acquires him. They win 2 Grey Cups, and he signs an extension today. Tua, the doctor that the movie Concussion was based on, begged Tua last week to quit. He said, quit. Your brain's not worth $20 billion. Next thing we know, Tua's starting this Sunday night against the Steelers. What do you remember from your days of concussion?
One of the biggest changes is we just didn't take injuries, I think, seriously enough back in the day. I remember, walking off Corey Schlesinger, this big fullback for Nebraska, and we had a head-to-head collision on the sideline, and both of us were a little loopy after that. I started after the game. I went and talked to another guy on the Cornhuskers that was, good friends with his brother. And next thing I know, I'm walking into the Nebraska locker room. I was just in this daze. I wasn't sick. I didn't have a headache, but things weren't connected. And back then, yeah, you just get a good night's sleep and take a couple of Advil and just keep at it. There's no such thing as slowing down in the mid-season. We disregarded far too often head injuries.
So you would say you had a concussion in that instance?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Was it the only one you had in your career?
Yeah, we hardly checked for him. I don't know. I was a defensive tackle for 15 years.
Banging a lot of heads.
So, I don't know. I mean, I feel fine now. I'm sharp. But I'll tell you what, I've seen some guys with the longer-term effect. And, it's something you can't mess around with. We used to. I like that they're serious about it now. But there's still, you still see those cases where they're making decisions, leaving it up to players. And I think this is, when it comes to your brain injury, you really just have to take that time, sit down, get it right. And, in some cases, it leads to guys' retirement.
I don't know if Andrew Luck, when he walked away from the Indianapolis Colts, if it was because of concussions. I didn't follow his career. I know he had injuries. I don't know if that was one. But then if you do walk away, you're going to face that scorn that he did. That couldn't be easy either. You're going to be criticized either way.
Yeah, you know, I think now we're kind of getting a day and age. If they respect you, they respect. If they didn't love what you did, or on the field as much, like they might question a little bit more. But right now, the way I look at it, if a guy shuts it down, John Cornish with the Stampeders, he had a lot of good years left in him, but he shut it down because he knew his body was starting to go, and it was time. And I really respect guys that make that decision.
He had nothing left to prove either, though.
No. I think I think he set every record in the books in his first 4 years. But yeah.
We got to get Johnny down here. Well, while we're sitting here talking about it, and I'll steal some of my questions, and trust me, viewers, I'll get to yours. But we had Mark Stevens sat in that chair yesterday, the voice of the Stampeders, and I said, how is this Bo Levi story not the biggest controversy in this town? Because, again, coming from the USA, if Aaron Rodgers got sat down for Jordan Love, that's all anybody would talk about.
Yeah.
How are they not? Why are they not talking about it here? He said because the Stamps handled it right. They sat the players down, explained what was going on. Or is it just because they don't talk about the Stamps in this town?
Well, it's definitely not the same draw as it is in other cities. But I think, here's the thing. Bo Levi, and I want to be careful about this, I respect every player that's made a living in this game. No doubt he's been the most winningest quarterback in Calgary Stampeder history during the regular season. But there's just something about a guy when you're less than 500 in the playoffs, or you can't win the big game on a regular basis. You just, and then a lot of the, I want to be careful what I say about the guy. But I was getting kind of tired of that and ready to move on. And it always bothered me. Why am I not a huge fan of this guy that does nothing but win?
Yeah.
Well, it's because he doesn't win in the playoffs and in the Grey. And I think it was ready. His body was starting to fall apart. He wasn't performing at the same level. It's time to move aside and bring in the new blood.
And they look good. I mean, the way they've been winning.
Fine, yeah, they're fine.
Yeah.
But it's a well-run organization with good players, good coaches. Give it time. We're not at the top of the game for the first time in how many years? But they're
going to be in the dance.
They're in the dance. Yeah,
that's all you can ask.
That's it. Yeah.
We'll be back, and I'll get to your questions for Sheldon Napastuk. NFL, CFL, NCAA, whatever you'd like. And the Moose will return as well. We're live on Game Plus TV here at the Stage Bar at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, obviously your favorite podcast platform, and on your home of Southern Sports and Talk, WQEE 99.1 FM.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
Easy snacking all around. Something everyone can love.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of fun. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Golf, Hawaii, and the Four Seasons. Imagine picking up your clubs and feeling like a pro for one whole week in paradise. Well, you can get that chance this December with 5-star accommodations, a 3-day tournament at a championship course, and loads of VIP experiences. The Pro Leisure Golf Tour is going to make you feel like a pro, even if your golf game doesn't. So whether you're looking to grab your golfing buddies for a tropical getaway or just wanting to find an exclusive VIP experience to take part in, the PLGT is perfect for you.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital GMC. Reserve your brand new truck or SUV today. Check out our great selection of in-stock GM certified pre-owned trucks and make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital GMC, making back to busy easy. Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
A beautiful day in the foothills. I'm telling you, they all are. And we're live from there. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination. Flames and Golden Knights going after it tonight, 7 p.m. in the Saddle Dome. The Moose will rejoin us a little later on, but we've got Sheldon Napastuk with us. Is it officially 8 seasons in the Canadian Football League?
Yeah, 8 seasons.
Okay.
8 seasons, yeah.
Great seasons, and he's settled here in Calgary, the home of the Stampeders. And we'll get to your questions and comments, I guess, now. We were talking about concussions. We're talking about Zach Caleros' extension in Winnipeg for 3 years today. Ryan in Saratoga in New York wants to know, now they're writing in about the Bombers. Hang on. So the Bombers traded, trolling me. Silverback says, it's a nothing trade. Should I feel bad that the Bombers trolled me this morning with their announcement?
No, man, that's relevant. So your job is to make your calls and have your opinions, and you're not, you blew that one, but I mean, it's going to happen, right?
Sometimes you're going to take it in the nuts. It's going to happen. Nobody bats 1,000.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
So Ryan in New York wants to know how you get into real estate and drone footage. What's your title?
Oh, wow.
What do you call what you do?
Real estate. I've got a real estate media company. So I was in commercial real estate for years. When oil and gas tanked in Calgary in 2014, it's a job just wasn't fun anymore. You're helping companies downsize and receiverships, and it was just. So one day, actually, at the start of COVID, we're sitting out here in beautiful Lake Koocanusa, which is right along the Montana BC border.
Sounds beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Like 35 degrees Celsius weather, white sand, soft sand beaches. It's amazing. But we're sitting there saying, I think I'm ready for something else. So we said, well, we got a drone that we used to shoot our industrial parks with on buildings. So we started a little drone photography business. Everybody then starts saying, well, we want the full package. Can you do interior photos and virtual tours? Hell, I don't know.
I'll figure it out.
Right? And it just goes, hey, can you do a video for us? Well, and so, a couple of years later, and $40,000 in gear and software and and a whole lot of time going to University of YouTube. We've got a pretty good thing going here. But it's so it was just because I took something that I knew, which was real estate. During COVID, people weren't going into people's houses. So you knew it was more important to have good photos and virtual tours. And we just built the business around what was needed at that time.
I love it.
Yeah.
So it just universe, man. Just
universe.
You
Yeah.
just knew.
Well, and grind. I mean, it's just like football. It's not just because you like taking pictures isn't going to make you a great photographer. You've got to spend every night studying, training. I've shot my own house like 37 times. I can't stand looking at my own house anymore and editing the photos. But every time you work on a new technique, you got to do it, right?
Jack Fulton's watching in Vulcan, Alberta. He says, Sheldon will succeed at whatever he puts his hands to. Why? Character, honesty, integrity. That's why. And I'd like to think, Jack, that's why we're all friends and why Sheldon and I got close way back in 99. You have to admit, football, as grueling as it is, gives you wonderful life lessons.
Oh, 100%. If you're willing to learn those life lessons.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's it. And I think it doesn't matter what area you played in. You get guys in a locker room come in with certain expectations or any level of entitlement is going to absolutely destroy your career. I mean, unless you're one of the top guys, even the NFL first round. If you're a first rounder, You got a general manager that loves you. They've picked you. You've got a little bit of grace and probably a whole lot of natural ability. The rest of the roster, just a bunch of guys that are working on mastering their techniques and getting lined up into where they're supposed to on each given play, right? And if you don't put in the work, I don't care what you do, you're not going to make it very far.
But again, well, that's how we're talking about it here. But attitude is the biggest denominator in life, right? You got to have the right attitude. You're not going to last very long.
Yeah, that's it. And that, even right now, I don't know. Like, I know this isn't sport related, but
it's fine. But it's a talk show.
Right now, the big thing about quiet quitting. Can you imagine guys on a roster quiet quitting? Like, it just doesn't work. You got to find what you want to do, find what you excel at, and just go after it.
Well, it's funny you say that because I heard this term quiet quitting a couple months ago. I think I said to Darren, what is this? Oh, it's you check out.
Yeah.
That's not new. It's been around for a long time.
Yeah, no, that's right.
It has a name now. Now, speaking of that, by the way, I didn't bring in a 8-year CFL veteran and NCAA product not to talk football. And I'm not going to lob any hard questions at you other than you are following the CFL.
A little bit.
So what's your take from
honestly, I was very excited. I'm going to talk about one guy. The guy that excites me and I think is going to do a lot to help boost the profile of this league. And it's this Nathan Rourke out of BC, Victoria kid. Even last year, I never really heard of the guy. I know he stepped in a couple games and the beginning of the year, they're talking about, there's this new Canadian quarterback kid. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. First Canadian starter in how many years? Then I watched him get out there. I watched him drop back, make his read. Ball pops out with fire, making quick decisions, and he just lit it up for the first few weeks. Then he's injured out for the season. Maybe making a comeback in the playoffs, I hear there's a chance. But for me, like my big take on the CFL right now, or the future of the CFL, are watching guys like them. Because there's no doubt that gates are down. I think the TV revenues and ratings are down. And so they got to start taking a hard look at their package and promoting the right stars and getting, the right venues to get them relevant with the younger generation. Because right now, let's face it, I think a lot of, younger Canadians are loving the NFL.
Yeah.
And what's not to love? I mean, they've got everything. Great packages, great stadiums, betting opportunities, everything.
Andrew, the Montreal Canadiens fan, says, I mentioned quiet quitting on your show, Rod. It was a while back. He was like the first guy. I thought it was a typo. I mean, check your autocorrect. What do you mean quiet quitting? I didn't even know it was a thing. Kevin, the medium. Kevin, we got to hook up, dude. He says, how long before Nathan Rourke gets grabbed by the NFL? This is where I appreciate guys like Sheldon because he's never big-timed me. While people think that I'm a football guy, I'm not. I'm hockey first. Hockey's in my DNA. I never stepped on a football field as a player in my life, other than the grass in Milestone, Saskatchewan at the old folks' home. That's where we played football. I didn't know anything about football. So with Nathan Rourke, that's what I don't understand. He doesn't get any kind of an NFL shot out of Ohio, other than the Giants brought him in, I guess, in New York as a receiver in a mini camp or something, an OTA. Or what do you call them? Those mini camp tryouts.
Yeah.
So NFL passes on him, comes to the CFL, lights it up, and now the football guys in Florida are saying to me, he's NFL ready. He's NFL ready. He's got to get out of the CFL. He's ready to go to the NFL. I'm like, you didn't say that a year ago. Can you tell that fast in a half a season?
You know what? I'm going to go back to the first game I watched him play. He was the real deal. The poise that he has dropping back, his decision process, working through the routes, and that ball comes out. He's a gunslinger. He can think on his feet. I think he's going to get another look. He's only 6'2", which
should be big enough.
It should be big enough. It's not impressive by any standards these days for a drop back quarterback, but he's got the vision. His mind works understanding defenses. He knows exactly what they're trying to accomplish on each play they're running on offense. Makes quick decisions. He's got an arm.
But that goes back to he's smart.
Yeah.
And he's got a great attitude. And the best quarterbacks that I've ever been around in the Canadian Football League are the smartest guys. Dave Dickinson was a killer.
Brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Right. Did he have the strongest arm? I don't think so.
No, and he wasn't the most mobile. The first year with the Riders, it was funny. Where I got the nasty Napastuk nickname.
Didn't I give that to you?
You sure did. Yeah. And I think that year I had 7 sacks, and 5 of them were against Dave Dickinson because he was like a drop-back quarterback who wasn't very mobile.
Where he was going to be.
They didn't move the pocket. It was just perfect for defensive tackle. Quarterbacks right in front of you.
Well,
but
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, but he knew what he was. They designed the offense around him, and he just did nothing but made great decisions. He'd take a few sacks, but he would move the ball. He would move the chains. And, he's one of the greatest minds in football. And now as a coach, you see the same thing. He's been able to take off the helmet, but pass on his understanding of the game to the players on the Stampeders. And it's...
By the way, did you hear the hooting and hollering? Somebody did one bit here at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. What are they playing? Are they playing poker already? Woo! Somebody's buying lunch. Lunch on you. The viewers, some viewers, have morphed this into a discussion about the Grey Cup halftime act and who it should be. I'm not going to waste Sheldon's time with that unless you have a comment. They haven't announced it yet. We're a month away from the game. People are saying Shania Twain. Listen, go watch her documentary on Netflix. She's living in Switzerland. She doesn't want to come back. Somebody else. Let me say this about Nathan Rourke. You played against Alum Bruce.
Yeah.
He was not a load, star.
Yeah.
And he is written in here like last week, and he wanted to know our thoughts on who should win the Most Outstanding Player Awards. And I thought it's a little early to have that discussion. But everybody's bringing up Nathan Rourke. Can you give him the MVP of the league on a half a season?
No, you can't. You really can't. Yeah, no, you can't. It's disrespectful for the guys that are putting in amazing years. And I'm sorry, like staying healthy, an injury is not always your fault.
Ability, yes.
But it is an ability to stay healthy and put out all season long. So
the best ability is availability. Another football term that translates to life. When you say?
What's that? The best
ability is availability.
Oh, you got to be Johnny on the spot, right? There you go.
Versatility, too. Yeah. Are you watching Edmonton? Have you watched their games?
Oh, yeah, a little bit. It's just a franchise. And again, it's kind of sad to see a franchise in crisis. And they were talking about well-run organizations. They were the class of the Canadian Football League for decades. And it's just, I don't know what happened to them and how they just fallen apart. Struggling with attendance. I mean, when we used to play there, you'd walk in there and there'd be 50,000 people in that stadium for the Labor Day rematch
there,
games.
Yeah, standing room only.
It was an amazing venue to play a game and to watch a game. But it's unbelievable.
Well, I'm going to tell you
sad.
Before I let you go, and we have some time here, but I want to give you time to answer this. It's where I see the Saskatchewan Roughriders going. I'm not joking. You look at their win total the last 3 years. Frankly, since Chris Jones left, you say what you want about Jones, but since he left, 13 wins, 9 wins, 6 wins, and you're hosting the Grey Cup this year, and you're not going to be even potentially be in the playoffs. That's where I see the Riders going. What do you see as a former Rider?
Oh, boy. Well, winning or losing doesn't go over well in Saskatchewan.
No.
And, Coach Craig Dickinson, I have a huge amount of respect for. I played under him as a special teams coordinator years ago. Another bright guy.
Here?
Here in Calgary, yeah. But this is his first head coaching job, and you only take a job to get fired in coaching. So I'm sure they're going to be looking at changes, but I guess it's going to be up to Jeremy O'Day, general manager, and the rest of the the higher ups above him to figure out what they're going to do to fix that thing. But it's always funny. I think they've always struggled a little bit in the management department, and until they get that right head coach that can really take over, sometimes I think it's one of those organizations that seems to get in its own way in the front office, right? And it's a bad place to put a coach. And if the coach is in a good position, then it's a bad place to be a player, right?
Do you think they have enough talent? Have you watched closely enough?
Yeah, I have. I know that, I think they have enough talent, but I think it's a hard one to put a finger on there. You've got underperforming quarterbacks. I think they were having some injuries on the offensive line early in the season. It's just one of those things. They're just trending in the wrong direction, which just sometimes, you can talk about, which parts are failing you, but sometimes you just need to take an overall look and say, listen, the whole thing's kind of broken, right from management on down, and make some hard decisions.
It's a great analysis. And by the way, how did you feel when, you were part of the Rough Riders in a very magical era, 99 to
02? Yeah, 02. Or
That's
01, 02, 98. Four seasons.
Let's go to the big board. Yeah, 02.
Yeah,
good
02.
call. And then here in Calgary, 03 to 06, and that adds up to 8 seasons. But you played for Shiv.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Chivas. How did you feel when you saw him going into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame?
Oh, you know what, boy, he's a character, right? And I don't, I don't care what coach you're talking about, what general manager you're talking about. One guy absolutely loves a guy, another guy couldn't stand him because me and Shiv, I think we're always cool. I mostly, he'll hardly notice me at all, which is probably a good thing back in those days. But
you played well. You were not overly expensive. You filled the Canadian key role.
Yeah, and that's all they ever looked at me as, right? And it was killing me. So it came right down. They gave me a contract to resign at the end, which was just ridiculous. And I said, listen, this is the number. This is where these guys are at that are on my level. I know what they just signed for. This is a hometown discount right here. It's like, that'll make you one of the highest paid guys on the team. I'm like, no, it won't. I mean, that's just like,
it was wrong.
Yeah. So I went to free agency, and that morning, it's but within a couple of days, I had to choose between BC, Montreal, and Calgary, and Calgary was just the absolute best situation to be in at that time. Well, actually, yeah. Well, looking back, that was a Federic day, so maybe. So what do I know?
Saw the worst of the worst.
What do I know?
It only went up from there.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, everything happens for a reason. A lot of guys have stuck around, as you know. It's a wonderful city.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. Sheldon, keep in touch. Appreciate you coming down.
You got it, Rod. Yeah,
we'll do it more. Nasty Napastuk joining us here at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. The Moose will be back in, and we'll answer all of your questions the rest of the way. NHL, Flames and Golden Knights going at it here tonight. NFL, college football, junior hockey we should talk about, whatever you'd like. It's the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, your favorite podcast platform, and on the radio, WQEE 99.1 FM.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the
dark horse bets today.
I gotta hit the beat.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Live across the United States as well, 31 states and on the air on the radio in Atlanta. Before we bring the Moose back in, a sports update on this Tuesday. The Philadelphia Phillies will face the San Diego Padres in an all-wildcard NLCS series starting tonight. Righty Zach Wheeler is expected to start for the Phillies in Game 1. The hometown Padres will start 36-year-old Yu Darvish. The New York Yankees and Cleveland Guardians are set to play the decisive Game 5 of their American League Division Series this afternoon. It is 2:07 Mountain, 4:07 Eastern. The game had to be rescheduled after a rainout Monday. The Yankees will start Nestor Cortes against the visiting Guardians. Cleveland's expected to counter with Aaron Savali. The winner faces Houston in the American League the American League Championship Series. The Vancouver Canucks will continue their 5-game road trip tonight in Columbus. The Canucks are winless in 3 games, as are the Blue Jackets, so something's got to give. Elsewhere around the National Hockey League, the Calgary Flames host the Vegas Golden Knights in a battle for NHL supremacy. In the early going, anyways, the Edmonton Oilers welcome the Buffalo Sabres, and the Ottawa Senators will entertain the Boston Bruins. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers, breaking news, signing quarterback Zach Collaros to a 3-year contract extension today. The reigning CFL Most Outstanding Player has thrown a league-high 35 touchdowns this year. Winnipeg is 31-4 since Collaros joined the team in November of 29, coincidentally the same time that I said it was a nothing trade. And the Bombers are making me aware of it today as we bring the Moose back in. This sports update for Ballers Rec Room, home of the RP Show, Grey Cup Partay. Call Ballers for your tickets. It's Friday, November the 18th. Do we have the Moose? For the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store, and for Red Bull Canada. Red Bull gives you wings. So I don't know where to go from here. I've done a lot of talking. I want to turn this over to the viewers as much as we can. We are live on Bell, MTS Cable in Manitoba. They're all tuned in to know what probably missed off the start. Can you believe the Blue Bombers that announcing this 3-year extension just played a clip of me saying it was a nothing trade when they acquired him? I'm a little surprised by that. We all got a chuckle out of it, and I'll say it again. Was there 4 points? 1, if you think I'm offended by that, you don't know me. 2, when I was with Zach, he was on our team. When we needed him, he wasn't around because of concussion problems. Number 3, as sports leaders are fond of saying, I made the statement with the information that was available at the time. And number 4, when they stop talking about me, then we have a problem.
Zach's where he's supposed to be. He was near. I don't know if the universe ever wanted him to have success in Saskatchewan and be in Saskatchewan. He's where he's supposed to be. And, you know, he's taking care of himself. The team has done a great job protecting him and taking care, and his health seems to be great physically, and now he's having success on the field.
Okay.
I sense something.
Well, I said we're going to turn it over to the viewers. I'm not angry about anything. It's just Jeff Gordon, watching on the streaming, says, is anyone else annoyed that MLB goes with a 5-game series and then a 7-game for the last 2? No, they always have. Who cares? They've expanded the playoffs from a 1-game wild card to a best-of-3. That's progress. Would we like the division series to be best-of-7? Yes. But we can't complain about this like it's a new thing.
Right.
It's always been this way. I don't really have a problem with it. Can we please stop complaining? Right, Mike? Let's stop complaining. Guy wrote in earlier about the digital ads on the NHL boards. I'm like, is that the biggest problem in your life? And the guy said, I beg to differ. It's very distracting. I'll tell you something, as a goalie, you know what was the bane of my existence is when they brought in the on-ice ads. That's how old I am. The ice was just a clean sheet of white ice when I was playing. But then and when I say brought it in, I used to practice with the Regina Pats because our goalie was hurt all the time. So I would suit up.
Yeah.
And they would have these dark patches on the ice out at the points. Try and pick a puck up coming off a black ad for A1 Plumbing and you know what I mean? Let's say Bronco Plumbing and Heating. It was very hard to see the puck coming off one of those ads. Somebody sent me a clip from last night where there was a puck on the boards. Did you see it?
Yeah. It was a moving ad.
It was a moving ad, but I'm thinking, I don't think it's a problem. You're supposed to be watching what's going on the ice. As a goalie, yes, you're trying to watch the puck off the glass, off the boards. But it's also paying your salaries. So can we get over this?
The goalies aren't seeing that. Those digital ads,
they don't see that.
Nobody sees it in the rink.
But on the ice, we had a problem.
But so in the rink, everybody sees just the static boards that are there, different from what we see on TV. It's distracting to a viewer, sure. But that's the point of the ad, to get your attention, right? So then you read it and you get the product in your brain. I got to make you, people will complain and say, well, I'm not going to go buy it because I saw it. That's not the point of ads.
That's not the point.
Anyway.
No, well, and the other thing, regarding practicing with the Pats back in the day, we had a guy by the name of Dmitry Nabokov. He played for the Russian World Junior team. He was a first-round pick of Chicago. So he would line up 10 pucks in the slot. Did I ever tell you this story?
No.
And he'd say, you, me, 10 shots, 10 goals. And I said, I'll bet you a sub. I think it was Lamborghini subs was popular with the team. Do you remember Lamborghini subs?
No.
They were a sponsor of the team. The subs looked like Lamborghinis, flat and wide. I stopped 5 of the 10 against a first-round pick of the Chicago Blackhawks. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then one night, that goalie that always hurt, this guy was funny, Dmitry Nabokov. He was funny. He was a different guy. He's not even with us anymore on this planet, unfortunately. But I remember him going to the back of the bus. I used to sit in the back of the bus. That may or may not surprise you with the players. I wasn't that much older than them.
Right.
And our goalie did something. I'm not going to name him, but he coughed up the puck, playing it late in the game or something, cost us the game. He goes to the back of the bus, gets right in his face and goes, you stupid little goalie. That was fun stuff. Regarding the best of 5 division series, Dan watching in Saskatoon says, 7-game division series brings just what everybody wants. December baseball. Nope. Right? I guess it obviously is for a time. For time.
Yeah.
And somebody said they're glad they went to a best of 3. Jeff in Winnipeg says for the wild card. Yeah, because one game. Did you ever even really make the playoffs if you're playing a 1-game playoff?
No, you don't. I think I would almost rather go the other way and shorten the series, because if you imagine this, because the games are 4.5 hours, 5 hours, and we have trouble sitting through that. You don't want to sit through 7, 4, 5, 6 hour games. And now we're having 18-inning games that are going 7, 8 hours. I would rather, if you're telling me games are going to be 5 hours, but it's a 1-game series to win the World Series, I'll sit for 5 hours.
Allie in Texarkana says, you're still not old, Rod. Well, depending on your definition, but I'm having a great time in Calgary. There's no doubt, and that's obvious. But I really like Florida. I'm counting down the years until I'm eligible to move into a seniors facility. And while I will be by far,
long way away.
We will be by far the youngest people in the senior facility. We like the peace and the quiet.
It is a vibe. It is a vibe.
I like the quiet. I really do.
I like it.
Now, I was thinking about. So we'll pause and come back for one last. They always fun overtime, but with the Calgary Stampede, we've talked a lot today about the universe and timing, right, on the show, and even in the breaks with Sheldon. There's a reason I didn't go to the Calgary Stampede until this summer. I'd have died.
Yeah.
And those that knew me before would agree. I'd have been leaving the Calgary Stampede in a frickin' box. It's all about timing. Yeah.
I don't doubt it.
We will be, Pink says the RP show live from Shady Pines. Actually, it is Shady Hills. If Serena's watching right now, can you take a photo, Serena, of that trailer senior park on the way to the gym? I drive by it every day and go, looks nice in there.
Was Shady Pines from Happy Gilmore?
I can't
Get
remember.
me out of here.
By the way, Mike Kelly's from Waterbury, Connecticut, where they had a tournament on the Happy Gilmore. We had a big laugh about that. We'll be back with Overtime right after this on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and WQEE 99.1 FM.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
I gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
beat. I gotta hit the beat.
Easy snacking all around. Something everyone can love.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right. And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital GMC. Reserve your brand new truck or SUV today. Check out our great selection of in-stock GM certified pre-owned trucks and make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital GMC, making back to busy easy.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
It's a beautiful day in the foothills, and that's where we are. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Summer-like conditions here at Calgary's entertainment destination. Look at the Moose. Chin up, Moose, you're on.
I know.
He's looking at the buffet coupons that we just got handed.
That.
Oh, it's going to be a good day. It's been a great week, as a matter of fact. Not just today. Everything's been great. Everybody's been so nice to us here.
Yeah.
My biggest problem is that the staff's now calling me by name. And usually that's my trick. I usually know everybody's name.
I know.
But now, welcome back, Rod. Hi, Rod. Great to see you, Rod.
You'll have it in 48 hours.
Thanks, guy. Yeah. By the way, the seniors facility in South Florida, the name eluded me. Breezy Hill.
Sounds
I got a
beautiful.
photo of it if you
Sounds
want to see it.
beautiful.
Rusty in Saskatoon writes in and says, is there any sign of Morty's Cadillac there? Hashtag Seinfeld. Hashtag Del Boca Vista. You didn't see that episode,
No,
did you? How
no.
many seasons into Seinfeld did you get?
Almost to the third season. So I'm working through it. I've taken a pause. There's so much, but yeah, I'll get back into it. It's
Best character on Seinfeld's who?
I'm a Jerry fan. I like Jerry.
I like them all.
I do.
But if you have to, I love Costanza's dad.
Oh yeah,
He's
really good.
Frank Costanza. Is it Frank Costanza?
I think so. Yeah.
We're moving in lock, stock, and barrel. Del Boca Vista. Big night tonight. 8 games in the National Hockey League. To the viewers, Kevin the Medium wrote in earlier. He was late to the party today. Must have been working. He said, "What's wrong with his Canucks that are 0-3 and have blown 3 leads so far this season? Nothing's wrong with them other than to say this is exactly what we said they were. They are who we thought they were." And we got battles at the top of the league and the bottom of the league tonight as far as the 8-game slate. Here in Calgary, I can't wait to go to the Golden Knights and the Flames. And I'm very gracious to Flames staff for having me there tonight. It's for NHL supremacy for 24 hours.
Yeah.
But the Vancouver-Columbus game, that's the that's the car crash on the freeway that you can't take your eyes off.
Yeah, and 2 teams that you can point to them being way better than their records. I mean, you look at Columbus, we thought that'd be a team on the rise, and it should be still when they can get Goudreau and Line A going a little bit more and get the goaltending and stuff like that. And Vancouver, I mean, look, I'm an optimist, and I would say, look, your team's good enough. You got a lot of talent. You've been able to have multi-goal leads in all your games and play well. And I thought they outplayed Edmonton for most of that hockey game that early in the year. But you're not mature enough yet to close those games out. So they've got to find some maturity. They got to grow up really quick. If they do, they could be a playoff team.
Oh, man. Now that you guys come up with all the great questions late in the show, part of that's on us. I should have been answering them earlier, but I get a notification last night. I'm at the movie theater with Moose watching Halloween Ends, which I do recommend. It's disturbing. Notification comes down from the Score. Vancouver Canucks hold players-only meeting after loss at Washington. I'm like, this got to be a record for the earliest in a season teams are having a players-only meeting. Because, and you guys, you people, trust me now, right? You trust me? 30-plus years in this racket, having traveled with teams in every league all across the second you are having players-only meetings, you might as well call in the father and start doing the last rites. Please tell me a team that had players-only meetings where the coaches aren't allowed and it magically turned their season around. It doesn't happen. Don't you think it's far early?
I know. It is. But maybe this is the way it does work. If there's no track record of success, maybe you got to have it earlier so there's time to come out of this. I don't know. But for whatever reason, this team is getting complacent in hockey games, and that's scary.
Well, what have we said? Success and failure starts at the top. And the ownership of the Canucks seem to be up to their ass in alligators, don't they? By the way, Curtis Fallman, watching on the streaming, says, Rod, is Bedard going to get traded? If so, where to? I've been writing about it. Do you go to rodpeterson.com? I write about it just about every weekend. For our listeners in Atlanta, this is the next Sidney Crosby, the next Connor McDavid, plays for my favorite hockey team, and I'm alum of the Regina Pats. But we're not allowed to talk about it. Nobody's talking about it. The trade of Connor Bedard. The team is .500. They're not good enough to challenge for a championship, but the owner doesn't want to trade him. And now I got the fans writing me going, Rod, you're the only one talking about it. There's a reason you're the only one, because you don't know what you're talking about. The rink's empty. The team loses as much as it wins. What are we doing here? That's why I'm sitting here. Not sitting there calling these games because I don't understand what the hell's going on in sports anymore. Other than the owners are calling the shots at their own peril.
Yeah.
How about that? Well, I'm interested to see with Vegas tonight. Let's end it on this with the Golden Knights. Talking to my Vegas guys, they're just like, we're winning.
Yeah.
Everybody's job's safe for today. Because in Vegas, you lose, they're the door.
I'd be buying steak dinners for Logan Thompson every night because he's really, as you say, pulled the wiener out of the campfire. When you trade Marc-Andre Fleury and then Robin Lehner goes down for the season or for however long he's out for, may never play again, who knows? And now you got Logan Thompson who just whoop right in and seems to have this team corrected, and Mark Stone's playing well, and life's good again.
For now.
Yeah.
Last minute of play on the RP show. See, I feel like Logan Thompson is not an NHL goalie. I called his games in the dub. I don't think he's a number one NHL guy. And then, all these bizarre moves in Vegas, you think that Kelly McCrimmon's behind and their general manager. Then I hear he's not behind them. What was I saying earlier about owners? And yet they're 3-0, and tonight's for NHL supremacy. I cannot wait. Thanks to Sheldon Napastuk. Thank you to John Liu, our live studio audience here at Grey Eagle. I'm not going to bore you with who's coming up tomorrow. Stay tuned to our social media channels, and we'll tell you then. I feel like a buffet. How about you?
Ooh, sounds good.
I worked out this morning. You will be later.
I will.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow noon Eastern here on Game Plus and WQEE Radio. Who has more fun than us?
That's right. Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.